Hey guys, Steve here for Who Took My Dice Miniature Wargaming. How's it going? It's been about a month since I posted a video. School is almost done. I'm almost there. I'm just doing exams. Thought I'd take a little break and talk to you guys. And the best way to do that is jump in with everything that's happened with Warhammer 40,000 8th edition. That's the big news right now. Everybody's covering. Everybody's all over it. I thought I'd give my piece and run through some of the stuff they said on the FAQ. The live one they did, which is really, really awesome. We'll get to that in a bit. But also just sort of what I'm doing as well. So it's sort of an update and talk about 8. So first off, update-wise, I haven't had a chance to do anything. I've been so busy finishing up school, I haven't had a chance. It's been crazy. Definitely want to get back to it. My army's still sitting there, half painted. The table's still in the same as it was since the live show. Excuse me. Yeah, that's it. You know, I've been trying to catch up on videos when I have a chance. I have a few minutes, commenting and supporting where I can. But basically, yeah, it's just been me doing school. But all right, that's the update. Haven't really got anywhere. Hope to soon. School being almost over. So 8th edition. This is the big news they dropped a few days ago. Games Workshop. They sent on FAQ. They did a live one. But I'm gonna go over what we know so far. So first off. Some of the small points, armor modifiers are back in. Now this was something that happened in 2nd ed. You had armor modifiers. They cut them out in 3rd to kind of separate fantasy from 40k. Now they're back in, which is very, very cool. Very cool. I guess this is supposed to go along the way the weapons work. So the weapons are going to have armor modifiers. Movement stats are back in. Again, a throwback to 2nd ed. Dropped in 3rd. Kind of glad they're going back. It kind of separates things. Chargers will strike first. We'll get to that too. That's awesome. You charge in, you strike first. Apparently, even with unwielding weapons, you get to go first, right? So that guy with that power fist or that thunder hammer, that, you know, ends up charging in and hopefully survives to swing down, he will. Morale tests are going to be like Age of Sigmar, where depending on what you lose by, more guys run away. They're going to be like that. Not 100% sure. These are the big ones here. There's no more armor values for tanks. They're apparently out. What it's going to be like, and a lot of it's going to come back to things I think they've discovered in Age of Sigmar. So basically, tanks and monstrous creatures, the more damage you take, the less effective they are. Now you can see this. I'll show you here. I've got the Age of Sigmar app on here. Now, I don't think it's going to be exactly like this, but I think they've learned a lot of lessons from that. And they're going to put that into what we've got. Just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Ironwell Arsenal. Alright, so you got the steam tank here, okay? That's a perfect example. Now, I don't know if you can see this. See if I can switch it this way. Nope. Alright, so you get your steam tank information. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and get that closer. Right, there we go. Steam tank. Right? Yay. Now, if you notice over here, you got wounds suffered. Right? You got a damage table. So basically, with monstrous creatures and 40k and tanks, the more damage you take, something for the steam tank, it moves less. The steam cannon has less range, and the steam gun is it's harder and harder to wound with it. The more damage it takes. The same thing with monstrous creatures; they do less damage. So I have monsters in this game. So I have a feeling in the end, the more damage you take, the worse your vehicle or your monster creature will react. Right? Army styles are going to stay the same from what they said. So your Blood Angels are still going to be fast. Space Wolves are still going to be their way. Tyranids, all that stuff. Apparently, they're trying to make it faster. So they're saying right now, and apparently they've had major playtesting on this, but game times for something like 1,500 points will take you an hour and a half. That's it. All models are going to have rules, all of them, and apparently anything is playable now. As in, and I mean that in that everything has its own special rules that'll make it something you want to take. So pyrovores or birovores are now useful again, apparently. The codices are gone. Now, this is a major change. It happened in 2nd ed to 3rd ed. All the codices, they were just completely irrelevant, gone. The ones we've had since 3rd till now, obviously we've had new ones, but they've kind of just been the same. Points have varied a little bit. Rules have changed, but it still followed the same progression. But yeah, so now they're out. There will be new ones apparently. Apparently in the new rules there are 14 different force organization charts. 14 of them. That's crazy. And apparently command points come with this. So if you build a particular army a particular way, you get command points. Now those, I guess, are supposed to be like special rules. You use a command point, one per turn, depending on how many you have. They haven't totally said everything yet. Templates are done. There are no more templates, which is kind of cool. Because templates are annoying to carry around, and there are better ways to figure out how to damage something than putting a template down and wiggling around trying to get the most hits underneath it and then arguing with your opponent because he doesn't think it's the same. Yeah, so apparently there's going to be new factions, and apparently, I guess I said apparently a lot because we're working on very little information here. Apparently some might be out right at the beginning. Everyone can hurt everyone. Now this is important because for the longest time in Warhammer 40,000, if you hit a certain toughness level, certain weapons just were completely ineffective, right? If you threw down a greater demon, guards and lads guns or in close combat, they're never going to hit him. Almost impossible to hurt him. Just it isn't going to happen, right? Now everybody can hurt everything. It's the same in Age of Sigmar. Everything can hurt everything, right? When now I'm not sure, they haven't released what type of stat lines you're going to have. It's going to be like the Age of Sigmar 1 where it's just your movement, wounds, saves, and leadership, and then your weapons have all the stats to hit to wound. Haven't a clue. Not sure yet. But they're saying, yes, everybody can hurt everyone. Weapons apparently work and feel like they should. Now, I'm not sure what they meant by that. I read through it. They said that he was firing with his weapons, and the way they affected the enemy was the way you'd think that weapon should do it. This is really cool. I hope so, because bolters should rip through lots of stuff. They're mass reactive shells. These things should be shredding stuff left, right, and center, right? Even other Space Marines should be afraid of a bolter. Allies are still around, which is cool. However, they're going to be using the keyword system, and that's another thing that I think they learned from Age of Sigmar. Now, if you haven't played Age of Sigmar, on every battle scroll, you have keywords at the bottom. I'll look this one. For instance, I'll take the steam tank. It has order, human, iron red all center, war machine, steam tank. Right? For instance, I play high elves in Age of Sigmar, and they all have the high elf thing, keyword. Now, for instance, that is a benefit when, say, you're putting, you have two units together. The banners, they add 1+1 to courage to your unit. If you're beside another unit that has the high elf keyword, you get another +1, so it's commutative. So you can build this really nice, strong, very courageous middle line, right? So I think that's good what they're going to do. So, for instance, it might say, this is just me guessing, Space Marine, or Imperial Army, or Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, Eldar, who knows, Chaos Space Marine. It could be anything. Khorne, Nurgle, something in there where if a special rule says, all Space Marines or all Dark Angels are affected by this, if you have allies and it affects them, yay. Close combat will be viable again. This goes back to everybody can hurt everybody, and chargers go first. I'm hoping that they figure out a balance between the shooting and the close combat now. Close combat has been really bad for a long time. There's certain armies that have just suffered horribly for it. Because you get there, you get shot up before you go in, and okay, I have a super powerful weapon, but it goes last. And then, your attacking force gets whittled away, and this one guy maybe kills 3 or 4 guys, but it's not enough, and he gets run down, or he gets destroyed, or what have you, right? Combat has just not been effective. So hopefully, this will help us through that a bit more. But yeah, so there's a lot of information, but it's also very little information. We get a good amount of small stuff, which is nice. So we know kind of what's coming. How's it going to look? Who knows? Will strength and toughness and wounds be gone? Well, wounds will probably stay, but strength and toughness be gone. What's going to happen with these armor modifiers? We've just had the release recently of, obviously, you have these big characters like St. Celestine, Call, Greyfax, the 3 Eldar, the Yvrain, I can't remember all their names right now. And then, of course, you had Valdis, Cypher, and Gulliman that have all had these big stat lines come out. and they're going to change. So the special rules that they've got, how's that going to happen? How's Feel No Pain going to stay in? Is it, right? What's going to all these special rules? With morale changing, how does that going to affect, and they shall know no fear, right? Do Marines, because in Age of Sigmar, if you fail leadership tests, that many guys run off the board as well. So as you're losing, more guys are running off the board, which makes sense for certain armies. But what happens if you're fearless? Or if you have and they should know no fear, where those normal events don't happen the same way? Who knows? Lots of questions, lots of answers, but lots of questions still. And the main thing is, this is really, really cool. And they even said it in their FAQ, the written one. They call themselves the New Games Workshop. And I think everything that's come out is showing that they've changed the way that they've decided to interact with the community. A new website for Warhammer 40,000 that they've got there that takes everything, takes all the factions, kind of explains what everything's about. This FAQ they put out, reaching out in an online an online video FAQ to talk about it. They're really reaching out to their customers and giving them information, not just like, because other times they've done that, said, hey, a new edition's coming. Silence, right? You didn't hear anything, or you got stuff in the White Dwarf, and it was kind of like a little overview, but it really wasn't much. I mean, they put out a new map of the galaxy, and if you haven't seen it, I have it on the Facebook page, which is crazy. Basically, there is a warp storm that goes from one corner of the galaxy to the other. Straight through the Eye of Terror, straight through the middle of the galaxy, and then where it's at its most, and then the other side. Tau, their command area has gone up. The Necron realms have grown too. It's really a bad time to be a member of the Imperium. But yeah, you have warp storms from one side to the other. They're popping up everywhere. The ghoul stars. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it's really cool at the same time. I'm excited for this because I love change when it comes to games. When things stay too long the same way, they stagnate. It gets kind of boring. I think adding movement in, it's going to change things up. Apparently, some of this is also to get rid of Death Stars. If you don't know what Death Star is, look it up. No, it's a unit or blocks units that just rip through everything. They're really hard to destroy, very powerful, not very fun to fight against. But it goes back to leaf blower lists as well. That was in there where basically you just wipe your opponent off the board. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm hoping that this edition really invigorates Warhammer 40,000. I would love to. I can't wait. I'm super excited, super excited for this. I just cannot wait. But yeah, so that's kind of everything I had there. The last thing, there's a picture going around. I'm gonna try and find it, put it on the Facebook page, of someone painting some true scale Marines, right? Basically, true scale means that when you put them up against a guardsman or an Eldar, they are where they should be. Lots of people freaking out about it. Some people saying, oh, that's it. I'm pissed off now. Games Workshop, I have to rebuy my Marines. It's over. It's done. If you look closely at them, though, they all said there's new heads, new bolters, the legs. If you really look closely on them, they're on 32mm bases. Those legs are Terminator legs. Now, I've been playing Space Marines long enough. I know what they look like. Those are Terminator legs. Literally, all this person has done is they've taken a Space Marine torso, the arms, head, and bolter. And the bolters do look different, but I believe those are forgeable bolters. I believe. Or they may be third party. You never know. It does look like a professional photo. You can see them. They got the painting, the Space Marine book open in front of them. And they're all, yeah. I'm going to say that picture is BS. I don't think those are true scale. I think someone developed that. They put them together. I've done the same thing. I've taken Terminator legs, a Space Marine torso, normal head, a normal backpack, normal arms, and made a taller Marine. Lots of people done it. I don't think that's going to be a true scale Marine. People have been saying that. The rumor that came out months ago was that we're going to get new Marines. Now, does that mean we're going to get a new army? Who knows? It could be, you know, a new faction of Marines that have been created by Gulliver himself, sort of a bodyguard. He could be recreating legions. I don't know. If you've actually read some of the stuff in The Rise of Primarch, he actually takes control of the 500 worlds again. So at one point, it was called Ultramar in the 500 Worlds. There was a realm of Ultramar and 500 other systems around him. He ceded those off after the Horus Heresy. In this book, he takes them back. So he's basically creating another big chunk of Imperial space that's under his direct control. The Imperium's under his control, but he's kind of unified everything, right? It's one of the things he did before he left for Terra. So who knows? We could be seeing new forces. It's so exciting because you don't know what's coming, and I'm just so excited for this. So excited! I think it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. If you don't like Age of Sigmar, you may not like this. I love Age of Sigmar. I think it was a great way to recreate fantasy and a far more easy. There's still tons of tactical acumen you have to play the game really, really well. The same with Warhammer 40,000. I think it's great. Tell me what you guys think in down below. Let me know what you think of the changes. Let me know if you think they're cool. If this is the end of the world, the sky is falling, because that always happens at this point. Let me know, guys. And as always, if you liked it, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends, and please, if you haven't, I always like adding more people to my community. Please subscribe. And as always, guys, I will see you next video. Keep rolling those dice.